Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's almost time!
Well, what it do, everybody? You done stumbled upon It's Almost Time. I'm your co-host for the evening. They call me A1. You can call me whatever the fuck if you tuning in. Like, you can call me bitch, I guess. But I'm here tonight with my co-host, our resident hater, Mr. Paul.
That's right.
And Cornbread, are you ever coming back, man? It's lonely over here. But I guess I can't complain because if you look, was it this side? Yeah, this side right here. Tied for second for the It's Almost Time three-way parlay championship challenge.
Decent.
Somebody hasn't been doing their homework, so we finally caught up. Just one fight behind the leader. We'll get to all of that, but tonight we are doing a UFC fight night double header. Because we've been a little lazy over here. I've been going every weekend, and it be like that sometimes. I know I got a move coming up here in a few weeks, so it might be a little spotty. I plan to go next Sunday, though, after the pay-per-view, because that's kind of the more important part. But we'll jump right in. I'm going to try to touch on we'll start with the weekend before last card, which was a UFC fight night with SANDHAGEN versus NURMAGOMEDOV. And for it being a fight night, this is more of a stacked fight night, but it was because it was in Abu Dhabi. So they always seem to get the stacked cards. And actually, I saw somebody comment, they're like, why does Abu Dhabi always get the stacked cards, man? How come they always give them fire cards? And
that oil money, dude.
I was going to say it's because they give Dana that good money. Like, it's not a tough concept to understand that when you're paying, you get what the fuck you want.
I think I would probably act a lot like Dana if I was in his position, because like I don't know where I kind of lost my train of thought, but like it's crazy I know what I was going to say. It's crazy how like he went from, trying to prove the legitimacy on the sport, and it was like hard for him to get places, and now he's got countries paying for him to come to them.
No, exactly. I have.
And it's like you can't tell me shit after that.
I always say I'm not the biggest, like, as a person, I'm not sure I like Dana White, but as a businessman, like, I respect it because he built this shit from nothing. Him and the Fertittas saved this company, basically dragged it out of the hole that it was in, and they built a fucking empire. And I can't do nothing but respect that. Love or hate the dude's politics and some of the people he decides to support. This is, again, one of my favorite sports in the world. Like, it's up there with football. I love football season, but just the consistency of the UFC. I mean, we almost have a fight card every fucking weekend. We're 30-something weeks into this year, I believe, and we've already had 27 fight cards. So it's I can't complain. They definitely keep us entertained, and then as the sport is growing, he's got some people in the right spots as far as calling matches and setting shit up. Like, it's usually pretty entertaining. But yeah, starting off last weekend's card, UFC Fight Night, SANDHAGEN versus Umar Nurmagomedov. We had Cedricus Dumas versus Dane Titulian. Titulian. There we go. And this, I'll jump it right off of the bat and just saying that this last weekend's card was fucking Decision City, man.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I'm again gonna brush through these, and we'll see where it goes. I was like, I could have swore Ardalan was on this, but that was the fight prior. But yeah, Cedricus Dumas with the convincing unanimous decision victory over Dane Titulian. This wasn't a bad fight. It just, again, it went to the judges' scores. Dumas looked in control the majority of this fight. I know it was only a week ago, but I don't remember a ton about it, so I can't really say too much. Next up, we had Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. I built a parlay. I was starting to get cocky after I hit that 1-5 like a few weeks back. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this every weekend and just get rich. No. Dumas started it out good for me, and then Bedoya fucking laid a fucking egg.
That's gambling for you. It's like, oh shit, I can do this all the time.
No, you can't.
I'll just keep winning, bro. We're rich. Get out.
Well, no, and I was looking at my FanDuel, like all time, what I paid in and what I made, and I think like over the two plus years that I've been throwing money on fights, I'd only lost $40 altogether.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
I was making back, but that 1-5 leg that I won the weekend before really kind of made up for it, because I was probably like almost 150, 160 in the hole. I hit that parlay, and it's like, oh nope, only -40. I'm probably back to -80 again.
Yeah, I can't remember how much I threw down, but I know it wasn't enough. Whenever it was like, I think it was a 7-leg parlay that I hit, but one of the legs was voided, but it was still 6 legs even with the voided 7th, and it was just, I literally just picked all the Russians.
I think I remember that one. You shared that one in group chat, and
yep.
And of course they hit. But I feel like when they do these Russian cards, or they do cards over there and they're stacking them with the Russian fighters, they stack them in the Russians' favor. They want to see the people that they want a good shot or a good chance for the people that they're going to be rooting for to win. So they kind of stack the deck against them. They kind of give them some cans. And yeah, it is what it is. They do stuff like that occasionally over here too, like where you can kind of tell just by the matchmaking who they want to win. And occasionally, though, you'll have somebody throw a wrench in it. But yeah, Bedoya versus Jai Herbert ended in a decision. Herbert with the dub. I don't remember a ton about it, but it was, yeah, it was all right. Next up was Sam Hughes. Dewey fucking looked like Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle, but with hair and an adult. She took on undefeated Victoria Dudikova. Ended in a split decision, and Sam Hughes got the dub, and it went the right way. I'm surprised it was even a split decision. I think they were trying to keep Dudikova undefeated, but she gassed out about halfway through the second. Just kind of wasn't. You could tell she wasn't expecting Hughes to still be there, and Hughes did exactly what she said she was going to do. She's like, I know she's new to the scene. She's gotten some convincing wins, but I'm going to test her cardio. I'm going to drag her into the deeper waters where I've been before, and I'm going to beat her. And she did it. So I can't even be mad about it. I think if Bedoya went to blow in that parlay for me, Dudikova would have. So yeah, back at square one. My favorite fight of this night, besides the main event, was Guram Kutaladze versus Jordan Vucenic. Vucenic, you probably haven't heard of before. He actually made his UFC debut last weekend.
Okay.
Let me actually just double check his record right quick, because he's was pulling off some, like, he's 13-3 now. So he's 13-2 making his debut. Had a really strong first round against Kutaladze, and I don't know if he got too confident. Kutaladze, he's been on the UFC roster for a minute now. He's had a lot of fights, and I think he just knows, like, hey, you can drop a round as long as you make some adjustments and you come back. And the second round was a lot closer, and even in real time, I was like, okay, Kutaladze won that second round. Winner of this third round wins fight, and Kutaladze really took over in the third round just with pressure and takedowns. Got Vucenic's back in the third round, and he wasn't getting out. He was Kutaladze was threatening submissions, was staying really busy and just picking the better shot. But Jordan Vucenic is probably going to do good in the UFC. Just how strong he looked coming out against a veteran like Kutaladze. He makes some adjustments, and this dude actually might make a deep run or just at least have a decent career in the UFC. Like, I liked what I saw. This dude is like tatted the fuck up, a bunch of blackout. And And
He can at least be a gatekeeper, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, he should do all right, and he might even push, into the rankings at some point. This is his first fight, and to do what he did against Kutaladze in that first round, I really feel like he's gonna make some adjustments and he'll get better. He will get more dominant, and I see this dude being a finisher. This isn't gonna be a guy that lets a lot of things go to a decision. I think if he does right, he'll learn from this loss, and he'll be back. And I'm calling it now. The next time this dude fights in the UFC, he's probably getting a dub. It doesn't matter who he fights. The dude just was like that first round. He almost had Kutaladze finish, had him hurt really bad, was pouncing on him. Kutaladze, though, to his credit, has been through the fire before. He's been through these wars, and he got through and had a better second round, and then took over in that third round and stole that victory away from Vucenic. Next up was a heavyweight bout between Shamil Gaziev and Don'Tale Mayes. This was about as boring as you get when it comes to the heavyweights. There was some stand up, but Mayes looked a little lost anytime Gaziev was touching him. I think Mayes thought it was going to be a little bit easier to get hands on him, and it just didn't go that way. Gaziev kind of played it smart. He's been criticized in the past for not really having a gas tank, so I think that's another reason why he took the route he did. He was just getting takedowns, controlling position, and landing shots. Nothing like crazy, but Gaziev was never really in any danger. This was his fight from start to finish. I want to even say it was unanimous across the board, 30-27s for Shamil. So there's that. We had Cal Fernandez versus Muhammad Yahya. And this was actually one of the only 3 or 4 finishes on the card. Ended in the first round at 4 minutes and 45 seconds TKO due to punches. Fernandez won, and actually looked really good. Like, from what I remember anyways, was getting the better shots in, got him hurt, and got the TKO finish. I don't remember if it was a standing TKO or how exactly it happened, but yeah. Next up, we had a light heavyweight bout, and the Fernandez and the Yahya was a lightweight match. Light heavyweight.
Yahya's such a fire last name.
Yahya.
Yeah, it's such a good last name. That's fire.
The light heavyweight bout after was Azamat Murzakanov making his return back to the octagon after about a year of and people got to be vacuuming right now. I don't know if it's coming through on your end, but it's annoying. Murzakanov took on Alonzo Menifield. First round, I felt like they were feeling each other out. Murzakanov had been off, I think, for a year. I think it was due to some medical issues or maybe an injury, but he hadn't competed in over a year. Made his return, and this guy, Murzakanov, kind of flies under people's radar. This dude is undefeated and doesn't really have that kind of pop because, again, he's been gone for the past year. And I don't know if it's been the opponents that he's fought or why he's I don't he's got some wins over, well, he's got a win over at least one really well-known light heavyweight anyways. He's got a dub over Dustin Jacoby. This was back on April 15th of 2023.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna stand Dustin Jacoby like Chael Sonnen stands himself. Dustin Jacoby's actually undefeated.
But yeah, this was a second round TKO on Alonzo Menifield. They were both picking some shots. Menifield was getting some off, but I feel he was being a little tentative. Murzakanov was controlling just the tempo, the pace, the action. He was fighting at his pace, and in the second round got him hurt. As soon as he realized that he was hurt, he went in for the kill shot too. Second round TKO, I think it was, 3 minutes and 18 seconds for round number 2. TKO due to punches, and yeah, there was stunned him on the feet, hit him with a combo, and I think dropped him, and then ground and pounded him out. But yeah, got himself a dub. Next up was a lightweight match between Joel Alvarez and Elvis Brenner. This was actually, I think, the first of our 3 parlays that day. There
Parlay
it goes.
boys.
You got me. You got me covered there. And yeah, Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner. Alvarez was a slight favorite to win, but Brenner's got that dog in him. I've seen Brenner get rocked so many times and fight through it and actually improve it. But this, from start to finish, was Alvarez's fight. It was quicker, the better punches, the harder punches. Got him hurt several times, like had him hurt in the first and almost submitted him with, I think it was an arm triangle. But Brenner fought through it. It was kind of, I think there was like 20, 25 seconds left when he started locking it up, and Brenner just fought through it. And having the will of the dog, he got through it. Second round, it was a little bit more back and forth. I feel like Alvarez might have even been pacing himself a little bit, knowing that Brenner wasn't going to go down that easy. But still, Alvarez won the round. And then, yeah, third round came out. 3 minutes and 36 seconds of round 3, TKO to knees and punches. Had him rocked, swarmed him, got him out. I would be surprised if he didn't get a performance of the night. Let me hop over to the UFC site and see. No, that's too far. There we go. Let's see here. So, okay, Mirzakhanov got a performance of the night. Yep, Joel Alvarez, who's actually a Spaniard, got a performance of the night over Elvis Brenner.
Nice.
Yep, no, it was well deserved. Dude looked really crisp. He was in control, and again, to do that, what he did to Brenner, I think that was Brenner's 5th fight now in the UFC. This dude's been through some wars already and proved that he was durable, and for Alvarez to do what he did to him was impressive. Next up, though, we had a bout between 2 ranked strawweights in the women's division, and that was Lupita versus Mackenzie Dern, number 10. Godinez versus number 7 ranked Dern. My favorite part about this fight was the weigh-ins.
The ass getting thrown around.
Yeah, no, did you see it?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to share that clip in group chat because, bro, Mackenzie Dern, she understood the assignment. She knows what people are there for. And it was one of the funniest clips I saw. Dude's in the front row at the weigh-ins as Dern's weighing in, and his face is just fucking flabbergasted by that fucking gyat, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this was a good back and forth fight. I actually thought that Godinez was gonna do something. I thought I don't know. I've just always felt like as soon as Dern's been tested or she's been touched and is strong, she kind of wilts under the pressure. And I thought what I'd seen from Lupita the past few fights that she'd been out, she was really starting to come into her own. Was actually starting to, just pick apart some opponents. So I thought she was going to do that to Dern. I was wrong, man. Dern had a really strong fight, looked good on the feet, like was actually throwing better than Godinez this fight. Was able to get it down too, and then once on the ground, you already know Dern's got some phenomenal jiu-jitsu. Just dominated most of this fight. I think it was 30-27 on 2, and then 29-28 on 1, but unanimous decision victory for Mackenzie Dern.
I think Mackenzie's actually a good fighter that sometimes just gets undermined by how hot she is.
That, and again, there was what fight was it? Hold up, let me go look at this fight history really quick. I think it was the Andrade. Yeah, when she fought Jessica Andrade back in November of last year, was a 2nd round KO loss. And as soon as Andrade started touching her, she was wilting. She did not like the strength of Andrade. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Jessica's a tough opponent. She's a former champion. And so, it's not like super shocking that somebody working their way up or still learning got taken out. But I've seen it too many times where she starts to get touched and she panics a little bit. I think it might even happen against Lemos, and Lemos ended up winning the decision in February of this year against Dern. So she was on a 2-fight losing streak going into this fight. And just what I had seen from Godinez, I thought it was going to go to the opposite way, and Dern surprised me. So shout out to Mackenzie because she looked good. I can't even complain. This next fight's a little tough to talk about because it's the end of an era. I feel like anytime we hit these crossroads and you got like, you know, the old guard kind of checking out and succumbing to the new guard, it's tough. But this, I mean, both of these guys are kind of from the old guard. It was a welterweight bout between Tony Ferguson and Michael Chiesa. Ferguson was on a 7-fight losing streak coming into this fight. Was a plus 525 dog, and didn't take long. Less than 90 seconds into the first round, Chiesa got Ferguson with, I think it was a rear naked choke. Let me double check that. Yep, rear naked choke victory.
Tony's fall needs to be studied. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, no, and in the most Tony Ferguson fashion ever, he basically said he retired, but he only put one glove down. And then when he was giving his speech, he's like, well, I'm going to keep one just in case I need it. So he's already thinking that he's not done. And actually, within 60 seconds of him being out of the cage, walking back to the locker room, a reporter asked him, oh, so this is it? And he said, no, this isn't it. I'm not done. So
he just wanted the mic.
yeah, well, no, and Chiesa like literally did the respectful thing, kind of knew Ferguson was probably done, and was like, hey, I'm thankful I got the win, but this isn't about me right now. Let me hand the mic over to a fucking legend, a future Hall of Famer. I'll let y'all talk to him because he deserves this moment, and gave that moment to Ferguson. And Ferguson, in the moment, seemed like he was conceding and like, yep, you know what, this is done. And really what it was is his contract was up. He fought his last fight on his UFC contract. He wasn't getting re-signed, but he said he doesn't want to fight anywhere else. So unless
did you see where he signed the $600 deal with Street Beefs?
Yes, I seen that $600 multi-fight contract with
very lucrative deal.
Man, he's gonna be making some waves in the local circuit again.
He would probably actually shit on all those fucking Street Beefs.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like we talk all this shit. I'm just a fucking fat ass dude on a couch, man. I don't do this shit. So like,
Tony
to talk any shit about any athlete, that's all that it is. It's shit talking. It's talking because I don't compete like that. Like any one of these motherfuckers would whoop my ass more than likely.
After Jalen Turner pounded his... Oh, wait, never mind. That was Bobby Green. I was going to say after Jalen Turner pounded his skull in, I'll fight his ass. He has CT for sure. I'll beat the shit out of him. He's running on fucking lag.
I mean, if you want, we could holler at Bobby Green, man. I know you're not a big fan of his to begin with. I'm sure we could set something up.
Eventually, I just got to start clipping these moments and see if I can actually fight somebody for money. That'd be sick.
But yeah, no, so with the first round submission over T Ferg, again, a little bittersweet because Ferguson kind of been there for a long time. But yeah, you are right. They do need to study this guy's fall because this guy was supposed to fight Habib. It was like 3 or 4 separate times, and for one reason or another, it always got postponed or canceled. You had Tony tripping over the camera wires and blowing an MCL, I think. And then the couple other times Khabib couldn't make weight and then got sick. Man, I forgot about this fight, man. Bantamweight match between number 4 ranked Marlon Chito Vera and number 5 ranked Davison Figueiredo.
Yeah, I almost bet on Cheeto for that one too, so I'm glad I didn't.
I'm gonna say, be glad that you saved your money, man, because Davison is not done yet. Even in his late 30s, this dude came out. He is the first person in Cheeto's career to knock him down with a strike.
That's crazy,
bro. And to watch it happen, I was laughing because I already knew with this being a 3-round fight, it was kind of stacked against Cheeto. I was surprised that they even had well, no, Cheeto was a slight dog. And then, no, the matchmakers got it right, man, because Cheeto's a slow starter. If this was a 5-round fight, it maybe could have gone the other way, but Davison came out in the first round, looked really good. Cheeto was trying some shit, but wasn't really doing much. Second round, though, I think Cheeto threw, I think it was like an overhand right and caught him as he was stepping in, and he stumbled back and fell down. And at first it looked like a trip until Cheeto tried to go stand up, and his legs weren't working right. He was having trouble getting back to his feet. Davison rushed him a little bit and got some more points off of it. And then the third round, it was more of the same. Davison just had really good octagon control, really good pressure, was faster than Cheeto, which he's coming up from. I mean, he's been at bantamweight for a couple fights now, but he was in a weight class lower for the longest time, and so it makes sense to me that he would have the speed over him. But to have the power coming up like that to knock somebody down that's had a pretty good chin. I mean, fucking Cheeto ate that goddamn knee right up the middle from O'Malley, and I mean, he stumbled, but it didn't knock him down. All the props to Figueroa, though. Unanimous decision victory. Got himself a nice little dub, and I'd say if he, because he just beat number 4 ranked in the bantamweight division. If he gets another top 5 win like that, he'll probably get a title shot. Now, is he going to be able to beat whoever the champion is at that time? That remains to be seen, because no matter who he fights moving forward, it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, who'd have called Davison Figueiredo being a 2 division champ, but who knows?
Bro, I'm here for it. I want to see him do this shit. I don't know if he's going to have the time or if he's going to be lucky enough, because there are some killers in that top 5 again. A lot of people didn't see him getting past Vera, but he made that look pretty easy. Co-main event of last weekend, though, was Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Michael Olenjacek. This was the second leg of our 3-way parlay.
Parlay boys.
And this was your pick, right?
Yes. Gotcha.
And this kind of went about the way that I thought it was going to go. Actually, it was a little bit more boring than I thought it would be, because Shara, he's strictly stand-up, and I don't know if the UFC just likes this guy or they're trying to put him up there, but they seem to match him against people that don't want to go to the ground. This dude's got 0 ground game, which is crazy coming from a Dagestani fighter. But like, give him somebody that actually has a ground game, and this dude's gonna lose. I'll put fucking money on that fight the first time he fights a ground heavy opponent. Because the one little thing I saw in his debut, when he got taken down, he didn't know what the fuck to do. He was kind of stuck, and I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure it's like the Alex Pereira situation where like he doesn't have it, but I'm sure they probably drill it a lot. But it was a pretty easy fight for Shara, unanimous decision victory. They actually gave him fight of the night, and personally, I didn't see it being fight of the night, but my memory could be a little hazy. I could have been sipping some of them adult beverages and just not remember. But it wasn't super entertaining to me. Main event of the evening, though, had some big implications. You had was a bantamweight bout, number 10 ranked Umar Nurmagomedov, undefeated Dagestani Russian fighter, against number 2 ranked Corey the Sandman Sandhagen. And this personally I thought was fight of the night, just with how it went, and it ended in a decision. But Corey, I'll just state it. This was the third leg of our parlay. This was my pick for our 3-way parlay. And I thought he was going to do it. I thought he was going to shock the world. I thought he was going to give Umar his first loss. And I was wrong. Umar, unanimous decision winner. I think it was 50-45 twice and 49-46. So pretty dominant victory on paper anyways. But this entire fight, one thing Corey said he was going to do is he wasn't going to play that Dagestani wrestling game. He said he had the blueprint to nullify it. And he was right for the most part. So every time they went to the ground, he was instantly fighting the hands and getting right back up. Like, I don't have the official times for ground control, but there really wasn't a whole lot of ground fighting, just due to the fact as soon as he would get him down, he had this tumble too, where every time he would get his back, he would somersault. and then reverse the position. And I'm like, this is the best I've ever seen an American do against Dagestani wrestling. And I think he's laid the tracks or the blueprint for how these guys can be beat, at least against the wrestling. But to Umar's credit, he was winning the stand-up. He was getting the harder shots, better control. I think, again, Corey, for as good as Corey is and as skilled as Corey is, he wasn't throwing enough when they were standing. He was a little stagnant, and I think it was because he was trying to time those takedowns to where he could get out of that and get back up to a fighting position. But now Umar looked pretty good. Umar also had Khabib in his corner. And me personally, I think Khabib is a better coach than he was a fighter. This dude knows the fight game. They are excellent at game planning. If you look at even Bilal's victory over Leon Edwards a couple weeks back, that was Khabib's game plan. He laid that out for how to beat Leon. And looking how that happened, even with Leon and Bilal, I think if Islam would have gone up to fight him, I think the same shit would have happened because it would have been the same coach.
Yeah.
I think
Possible.
that they're just really good at game planning for opponents and breaking down a fighter. Right now, my guess is with Umar getting this dub over number 2 ranked Corey Sandhagen, this dude's probably getting the next title shot. You're gonna have O'Malley and Davalishvili fighting here in a few weeks, or I think it's just about a month away at the Sphere card. And whoever wins there, I think Umar gets a shot at him. And honestly, I don't really care who wins. I think Umar is the future bantamweight champion. The way he's fighting and what he just did, jumping up 8 ranks, this dude's going to be there for a while.
I'll bang his mom and see what he thinks about that. See what he thinks about finishes when I make his mom finish.
Hey, that's one thing you don't ever do is call a Dagestani a motherfucker. They take it personal.
So does Canelo. Have you seen the video of some dude calling Canelo motherfucker? He says, "Don't you ever say a fucking word about my mother."
Hey, bro, that's like Michael Chiesa, though. I think it was who was it? I can't think of this dude's name right now. I can see his face and everything, but I'm drawing a blank of what his fucking name is. Hold up,
Dylan Dennis.
No, it was hold on. Let's hop over here and let me click on Michael Chiesa's stats right quick and pull up some of his last opponents. I think it was like Kevin Arnold. Hold on. Yeah, it was a while ago. There's no way it was that fucking long ago. Oh, Kevin Lee.
Oh, okay.
They were having a press conference, and I don't even remember what Lee said, but it had something to do with Chiesa's mom, and he's like, "Don't you fucking," like, he was ready to kill him there on the stage, man. It was fucking fantastic.
Even if you actually do believe that, I feel like you shouldn't say that because then you're just telling them how to press your buttons at that point.
No, exactly. I agree there. But there are some fighters that you say the wrong thing, and sometimes pushing their buttons might backfire. It might motivate them extra to whoop your ass.
That's true.
But yeah, so that was UFC Fight Night, Nurmagomedov versus Sandhagen. All in all, pretty decent card, but I think you had higher hopes even going into it just because of the fact of what caliber fighters were actually on that card. This card, I could have taken or leaving. This card was the UFC Fight Night, Marcin Tybura versus Sergey Spivak II. This was at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Actually had a pretty decent start time. Prelim started at 4 p.m. Main card at 6. I think there's actually only like a 10 fight or 10 fight card. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 fights last night. So it's kind of usually it's been anywhere from like 11 to 12 on average. I don't know if they had a fight fall out or if they just decided, hey, this is what we're giving them and this is what we're doing. I don't know. Starting out the night, though, you had Stephanie Luciano versus Talita Alencar. I think this was actually a rematch. I want to say that these two had fought on Contender Series. Yeah, back in December of just this last year. And it was a split decision. Alencar got the victory on the Contender Series. And, or no, that was Dos Santos and Alencar. But yeah, I think prior to coming in, these two had fought on Contender Series. Alencar got the victory, so they decided to run him back. And man, when I tell you this was complete domination from Luciano, just was not really in any danger at any point in this fight. Had the better stand up, was busting Alencar's face up for this entire fight, and I think across the board, unanimous 30-27 victories. Next, we had Yusuf Zalal versus Jarino Aarons, and Yusuf Zalal with a first round submission. And let me double check on what the submission was. Yeah, rear naked choke victory in round 1, 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Zalal with the victory and actually got himself a performance of the night bonus on that one. Looked very good. From what I remember anyways, I think I was actually, there was a portion of this card I was actually out on the boat. We were doing a little bit of fishing, but also watching the fights via mobile. And
nice.
Yeah, no, it was pretty decent, except for the fact I had some drinks in me, so I was having to piss every 10 minutes. So that consisted of me having to climb down the ladder into the water and yeah, do my thing.
Need to get a piss jug, dude.
Man, I don't know if I'm there in my life yet that I could pee in a jug and feel okay. Next up, it was Jonata Dinez versus Carl Williams. This was a easy victory for Dinez. Just came out, dominated in the stand-up. Williams looked a little stagnant or a little tentative. I don't know if he was worried about the power that was coming back to him. I actually thought it was going to be Williams' game plan to take him down and to eke out a decision victory that way, because Jonata is a known kickboxer. Like, actually did really good in kickboxing. And so dude should have known what he was going to be dealing with and didn't do anything to stop it. Dinez with the unanimous decision victory. Let me see here. Yep. And then the fourth fight of the prelims was Carol Hossa versus Pani Kianzad. Pancake Kranz. This is a unanimous decision victory for Hossa. Looks, again, pretty easy or light work for Hossa. Neither one of these girls are ranked, but I could see Hossa maybe making a push. But it was a decent fight. Again, it wasn't super exciting. And I'm gonna say this before I even jump into the last 6 fights of this card. This card was a mid card. Like I said in the beginning, I could have taken or leaving this one. Usually when you get a fight night card like this where it looks kind of not stacked, you usually get like some really good fights. And this, it was so. Again, I wouldn't have been upset if I would have missed this. First fight of the main card was Toshiomi Kazama versus Charalampos Gregorio. And Gregorio was actually Cornbread's pick for this week's 3-way parlay. And with that being said, Kazama with a submission victory over Gregorio. It was a second round, minute 55 in. And well, now, of course, my phone's going to be freezing up on me. Come on, motherfucker.
Got to, dude.
Yeah, Kazama with a triangle choke submission over Gregorio, minute 55 in round number 2. Got himself a performance of the night bonus. And that means Mr. Breddington dropped another parlay pick.
Correct.
So he was up by like 4 or 5 fights at one point. And with that, he's been kind of stuck at the magic number 17 for a minute. And I blame it because this motherfucker ain't been here talking shit with us. He ain't been doing his homework. So you got to get back over here, Cornbread.
He hasn't been participating in class.
Exactly. Skipping school. Truancies. But yeah, Kazama submission triangle choke, round 2, minute 55. Got himself a bonus. Next up, we had Yana Santos versus Chelsea Chandler. I cannot stand Chandler, dude. I really do not like this girl. This is the girl that got hit. I don't remember who hit her, but this bitch straight turned around and ran to the cage. And ever since then, I have not liked her. I will bet against her every time I see her in there. She just has the face of a Karen. It just really bugs me. You know, like it's like that line from Step Brothers. She's like, man, you need to change your face or I'm gonna punch you. He's like, well, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll just try to. She's one of them people you just see her and you're just like, man, fuck that bitch. Like, I just don't like you because of your face. And that's kind of my feelings on it. Sorry, not sorry. I might catch some heat for that, but I'm not a Chandler fan. Yana Santos, though, came out and did what she does. A unanimous decision. Nothing. It wasn't like a super entertaining fight, but I was happy to see Chandler lose.
Hell yeah.
That was good enough for me. Next up, we had Chris Gutierrez versus Quang Lee. Again, a unanimous decision victory for Chris Gutierrez. I don't remember a ton about this one. I don't know if it's because I was a little sauced or if it was just not that entertaining, but I want to say Gutierrez won pretty easily. Wasn't really a big of a challenge. It wasn't a close fight. Was outpointing him and did what he had to do. Danny Barlow, though, was up against Nikolai Verotanikov. Yeah, Verotanikov. I did that a lot better than I thought I would. Barlow, I want to say, is one of the up-and-comers. He's only been in the UFC, I think maybe a year. But dude is now officially 9-0, so still undefeated. But had his closest fight last night. It was a split decision victory over Verotanikov. And personally, I'm surprised this thing even went to a split decision. I felt like Barlow was doing enough that whole fight that it was an easy victory. Actually, because, two judges had it 29-28 for Barlow, and one judge scored it 30-27 for Nikolai. And when they announced the 30-27, I was like, dude, so you weren't paying attention to the assignment. You just throwing numbers out there because there's no way this dude won fucking 3 goddamn rounds. Co-main event of last night was Jose Mariscal versus Damon Jackson. I had Mariscal on my for my parlay pick, and what do you know? It hit. Wasn't the most entertaining fight, but
Parlay boys.
Yeah, Mariscal unanimous decision victory over Damon Jackson. Damon actually looked kind of decent the first round, but Mariscal outpointed him, outpositioned him for majority of that fight. First round was kind of up in the air. Actually, I want to say it was unanimous 29-28 across the board. Jackson, I think, won the first round, but Mariscal was good. Some good control from the top, had some takedowns, and just controlled the fucking fight. That brings us to the main event last night, which was a rematch from, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago. These two had fought prior. Sergey Spivak versus Marcin Tybura. Tybura actually won the first fight with them. And if you do the MMA math, usually the person that wins the first fight usually will win the rematch too. Odds makers weren't so sure, though, because they had Spivak slightly favored going into this matchup. And for good reason. This shit did not take very long at all. Like, Tybura, I rushed in a little quick, got taken down, and that was actually in Spivak's guard. Spivak was on his back and pulled a fucking armbar. How often do you see a goddamn heavyweight pulling arm bars?
Not too often.
No. And it
Not
was
since Verdum got knocked the fuck out by Stipe.
Yep. Yeah, they it was funny as it was happening too. One of the commentators, I think it might have been Felder, was talking about how like both Felder and Bisping had noticed that Spivak was trying to position himself for an armbar, and they're like, "Oh, that's cute." Like we don't see heavyweights do that, but wouldn't it be cool if we did? And the next thing you know, he grabbed the arm and fucking pulled an armbar. Quick victory.
Actually, Jailton Almeida, he's been doing some shit like that, I guess, hasn't he?
A little bit, but like I mean submissions, but like the armbar specifically is usually not a move the big guys go to.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because of how they're built, or again, you know, being a heavyweight, usually you got some bigger arms, so it's harder to probably pull that arm in and get it secured.
But you get someone like Derek Lewis, you try to armbar him and he just curls you.
Yep. No, Derek Lewis, you know, whether or not he makes another run at it or how much, you know, however much longer he ends up fighting, I've always loved Derek Lewis's style because he'll get bored or just not want to be in that position and stand up. Like you get him on his back or in guard or mounted, and he doesn't want to be there. He just kind of Undertaker's it. Just sits up and stands up, and like, dude's pretty strong to be able to do that. But yeah, it's always been entertaining to me how easy this dude usually gets out of like bad positions on the ground. But yeah, let me see here. Spivak got a performance of the night bonus as well for that submission victory over TYBURA. And that was your UFC fight night, TYBURA versus Spivak II. I kind of wanted to get through this and actually made pretty good time, 45 minutes or so for both cards. I'll take it.
Wow, yeah, that is pretty good.
But really, what I'm looking forward to is this next weekend's card. We got a stacked card next weekend. It's in Perth, Australia. Main event of the evening is going to be Dricus du Plessis versus Israel, the Last Stylebender, Adesanya. Izzy's been out. Izzy's been out for about a year after he lost. I think it was in September of last year. He lost to Sean Strickland. Took himself a year break. I saw a picture of him actually in training camp from, I think it was just this last week or a couple days ago. Izzy looks fucking shredded. Like fucking, this is the most built I've seen Izzy look. So he took his camp serious, getting into shape serious. Word through the grapevine is you see that, so there's been speculation that Alex Pereira's next fight was going to be Magomed Ankalaev, right?
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Now his next fight's those allegations.
Yeah, we'll touch on that here in a second. I didn't forget about that. But yeah, Magomed's already scheduled to fight Alexander Rakic, I think, in November. So Magomed is going to have to fight at least one more time before getting a shot at gold. Personally, I think he probably beats Rakic, but I'm hoping Rakic derails that hype train a little bit. I've never really been a big fan of Ankalaev, and especially getting submitted by Paul Craig. The fuck are you doing?
The guy's fucking jits, dude.
No, my guess is, and really what the speculation is that they're waiting to book Pereira's next fight based off of the winner of this fight this weekend. I think if Izzy wins and beats DDP, they're probably going to see if he wants to go up to 205 to try for double champ status again.
Yeah, I could see it.
I don't see him beating Pereira at 205 though. I don't. And with as active as Pereira has been, and just the size difference, it was killing dude's cardio and his shin, cutting all that weight to get down to 185 in the first place. And I think that's the only reason Adesanya was able to get him that second time, is it was just too big of a weight cut. Now with Pereira fighting at 205 and really framed right for 205, shit, this dude's framed to be a decent sized heavyweight at this point. Walks around about 235.
I'll beat the fuck out of him too, dude.
But yeah, I think they're waiting to see out of du Plessis and Adesanya. I think if Adesanya wins, they're probably going to offer him a shot at at Pereira. I could be wrong though, and really what I'm hoping is that they haven't booked anything for Pereira, so that they're letting him bulk up and giving him a chance to fight Aspinall.
I remember when Tom was still a contender. You know how Chael, when he does the thing where he acts like he doesn't know how to pronounce their name?
Mm-hmm.
He used to call him Tom Aspinwall all the time.
There's a couple.
And he's like, once you earn his respect, you start saying your name properly.
Yep. No, I've heard a couple different MMA personalities saying just weird takes on Tom's name, like Tom Aspinall.
That one's actually funny.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. And actually, Aspinall said something recently in an interview, kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He's been pushing to try to get John Jones. Obviously, this is the fight he wants. He wants to fight the GOAT. And he basically goes, man, Stipe hasn't even fought in like 3 or 4 years. He just needs to retire. He's like Joe Biden. He just needs to leave. And I'm like, bro, this is one of the best heavyweights ever fucking doing it. And that's the kind of shade you're gonna throw. You're kind of a bitch for that, Tom. But he's gonna do what he can. He's gonna politic and ride all the dicks to try to get this fucking John Jones fight. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, respect your elders, respect those that came before you, respect those that built that division.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck him. Fuck Stipe. Fuck Grandpa. Fuck Biden. Grandpa Stipe Biden. I'm just kidding.
But no, it was a little fucked. And while we're on the topic of fucking, yeah, these Alex Pereira allegations. So for those of you not in the know here, a couple weeks ago, maybe even about a week or so ago, a woman on TikTok made a video basically alleging that Alex Pereira had sexually assaulted her in the ass.
What? Wait. She specified that?
Oh yeah. No, there's a 3-part video. I think she still got it up unless she finally took it down.
He sexually assaulted her, but specifically in the ass.
Yeah, but a little bit of context. Okay, first of all, and not to say that this has anything to do, like if it really happened, it shouldn't. This shouldn't. I don't want to be like I'm excusing it just because of what this girl does for a profession. But this girl is a sex worker, has an OnlyFans, and not just an OnlyFans, but a hardcore OnlyFans at that, where she does anal. She does a lot of like even her humor and some of the stuff that she was posting on her Instagram and her ex up until she deleted them. She deleted both of her whole Instagram page and her whole Twitter page, like just straight up closed it after making these allegations. And one of the reasons is because on her ex page, she's making jokes about getting choked and liking it rough and this and that. But then this whole time, like this 3-part story of these allegations that she came out with, she's talking about how she didn't understand that what Pereira was in it for and why he was interested in this and that. And I'm like, no, bitch, you do sex work, and you're gonna play the naive card. I call bullshit right there. Basically said that a mutual friend of hers was training at the same gym as Pereira and I think Lover. And her friend invited her to come along to meet Alex and his translator. And that I guess her friend had also shared with them her OnlyFans link. And so she agreed to go meet him. And, basically they hung out, went and got some drinks. And then she's like, well, they shouldn't even been offering us drinks. I'm 21, but my friend is 20. They shouldn't have given us wine. And I'm like, nah, bitch, quit playing the victim card. And if somebody offers you something and you don't want it, you know what you do? You fucking say no. Like how hard is it to turn down a drink if you don't feel comfortable drinking or this or that? But basically was talking about how uncomfortable she felt at the dinner that they had. And then later they left. Like they separated. It wasn't with Pereira and the translator. I think they had some media obligations or something they had to do. So they got a message later asking if they wanted to meet up. And at this point, the girl already said she was uncomfortable. But she agreed to go meet him anyways. Again, I call bullshit on that. This dude made you feel that uncomfortable or that uneasy or that scared. why the fuck did you get yourself out of the situation just to jump right back into it in a couple hours? Needless to say, they linked back up, I think had some drinks, went back up to his room as a group. And then she told her friend not to leave, that she didn't want to be alone with Alex. But then Alex kicked everybody but her out of the room. And she was talking about how uncomfortable she was around him at dinner because he kept trying to hug on her and stuff like that. And she's like, I just don't like being touched. I don't care if it's family. I'm not big on being touched. But then made the excuse that she went and got into the bed with him to cuddle because cuddling was okay. But isn't cuddling touching?
Yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah, no. And then, okay, and then this entire time she's saying about how, you know, Alex had his translator there because he does not speak English. Like, dude knows a handful of words, and the most you get from him is, huh, and shama. Like, that's Alex's vocabulary. And she basically said the whole night that's all he was saying was shama. That's the only thing she understood. Until they were in the bed, and supposedly, allegedly, Alex pulled down her pants or her panties down to, I think, about her knees or something like that, and then went to go put it in, and it wouldn't fit. But then he asks her in perfect English to help him get it in. And yeah, so then there's that. And this all went down, I think, in May or June. So it was a couple months back when all this supposedly happened. She didn't say anything about it, then decides this last week that she was going to go and publish a story or come out with the allegations. The day that she makes the allegations, the friends that she went with that was a witness to all of this unfollows her on all platforms.
Ooh.
And then again, after these allegations come out, people, you know, being TikTok detectives and just internet detectives, they start looking at this woman's internet history. That's when she deactivated her Instagram. That's when she deactivated her X or her Twitter, whatever you want to fucking call it. And basically also had somebody message her saying, hey, you're probably going to want to lawyer up because these false allegations, you're probably going to catch a case. She goes, oh, that's okay. With all the traffic to my OnlyFans now, I can hire a defense lawyer. So she knew what she was in it for. She was in it to get clout. She was in it to promote her page, and I guess it worked to a point. But just from what I've seen so far, it is a complete fabrication. I think probably what happened is because they did link up, they did kick it. I think they had a one-night stand, and when it wasn't more than what she wanted it to be, and she realized it, she decided that she was gonna throw these allegations around or try to get that bag.
Right. I'll be right back.
No, do your thing. Do your thing. While he's doing that, we'll hit you with a quick commercial because we don't do that a whole lot over here at It's Almost Time. We need to kind of get on that content train a little bit more. But while he's wrapping up whatever he's doing, we're going to teach you about raps.
What's going on? Cornbread, the Trash Panda. And y'all know how I do when it comes to rapping. You know, I'm one of the best out here. Or at least so I thought. Until I met this man. You see how he rapping? Crew Eileen, cut man, rapper extraordinaire. He gonna get us right. Stay yo. So we got the finished product. You know what I'm saying? He gonna explain what's going on here.
What you looking at? You want to love here. You want your knuckles to be clear. How that feels when you punch?
That's cool.
You got cast on?
Yeah.
When you turn your hand, you want an open palm. Open it up. If you grapple, you want to be able to catch, hold good. You know, a boxing rap will be too much gauze and tape here. It will be hard for you to grapple.
Right.
But in MMA, I want you to have an open palm, make a fist, give me a punch. You fell down?
Yeah.
Protection here, solid on the wrist, open palm. And that's what's up.
That's what's up. Crew Island. Crew Island, did I say that right?
You're right, baby.
That's what's up, man. Hey, we following them. We gonna get you all the info too. Appreciate you. It's almost time. Peace. What's going on? Cornbread.
And while we're here, I was just taking a quick look at the card. We got 4 Brazilians on here, so I'm gonna run this other steak recipe right quick. We'll be right back.
I'm in the lab cooking. That cushy help me clear my mind. I see they eyes looking. I think they like the way I shine. Little bitch, stop lying to me. I know I ain't the only one. I just take it how it come. Chasing money, having fun.
Cut alarm, wake and shake in the whip, off the oil, Quaker State. America, make it great. Kill yourself and I help shake and bake. CLB straight from Drake. Mommy said, God, he don't make mistakes. But arguing with baby mama, great debate. Not about to save the day and not about to blaze the haze. Man, I smoke, knock you out from day to day. My shit packing out but made this way. Ain't no backing down, I came to play. Until niggas passing out from Vegas strains. On the track, I take the train to STL for Raising Cane's. For chicken tenders, patty melts and baby cakes. Cause every day we bake, feeling wavy like we stay cremated while we rather see your life off the tree when I like to breathe the lie, don't believe the hype. The Medipack is the soul food like okra greens and swine. If the potpourri is pine, then you know we're freezing time.
I'm in the lab cooking. That cushy help me clear my mind. I see they eyes looking. I think they like the way I shine. Little bitch, stop lying to me. I know I ain't the only one. I just take it how it come. Chasing money, having fun.
You lie. I don't got time. With no you, I'm fine. What I got is mine. I'm over shit, cold shoulder shit. Attention, you no longer get. Little good girl turned bad bitch. I got a mission and cash assist. Bitch, tell me I'm a pacifist. I tell her pass the piff, you got some too much. It's KK, no Ku Klux. Bread boy, you too fucks. Roll something, then do something. Big paper got.
Man, I'm gonna have to get at Cornbread and see if we can't throw together a little Aussie recipe for this next weekend. We get a little something for you. Like usually have it a week beforehand, give you a chance to prep it, but see if maybe we could throw something together, get it out there. Got to start working on some more content on this end. Speaking of next weekend's card, while we're still here, we'll probably wrap it up, but really quick, since 2 out of the 3 of us are here, the official tabs, like I said, for the It's Almost Time 3-Way Parlay Championship Series. 27 fights into this year's cards. And we have Cornbread in the lead with 17 wins and 10 losses. And then you got me and Paul tied for second at 16 wins with 11 losses. Cornbread, we coming for that #1 spot. So you best get to doing your homework proper, finishing them assignments, and joining us here next Sunday for It's Almost Time. Speaking of parlays, Paul, who you picking this upcoming fight card? Who you got?
Well, I'm looking at my choices here. This is tough. This is
some good fights. This is not going to be. There are some gimmies on here, but I think I know who I'm going with. But I'm gonna wait to see what you say.
I'm gonna go with Gamrot.
Okay. So Matus Gamrot. Write this down so we gotta. So I don't forget. And give me Ursig. I think Ursig looked really good against Pantoja. I like Kai France, but I think Ursig is kind of coming into his own. I think within 12 months, if Ursig keeps doing what he's doing, he's getting a rematch or getting a shot at whoever the champion is at that time. I think this dude just is – he's cooking right now. So let me write that down right quick. Ursig.
Yeah, I was thinking about Ursig too. I feel like Kyra Friends kind of fell off.
Well, and he's had some tough fights. I mean, you start getting up there in competition, and it can be hard. Yeah, he lost to Amir Albazi, which isn't saying a lot because it's fucking Albazi. Like, Amir is a really good fighter. His fight prior to that, he lost to Brandon Moreno. Was looking really good in that fight. I actually had Moreno hurt pretty bad, but Moreno's got that dog in him. Fought through it, and yeah, got a TKO victory over France. I think hit him with some really good body strikes, and that was all she wrote. Any speculation at who Cornbread might pick? Because none of his sons are on this card.
Right. He'll either, I think he'll either pick Izzy or someone on the card who I have no idea.
I'd say he's either going Izzy or Jairzinho Rosenstruck. And not just because they're both black, but I feel like Rosenstruck is gonna beat Tuivasa. I could almost see him going with Junior Tafa though, too, over Walter Walker.
That's true. He does like the Tafa brothers.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi. But on that note, we are going to call it a night. So thank you to anybody who joined in. I see we got a viewer right now. It kind of makes me sad that we have to cut it off, but it be like that sometimes. As always, these are available for replay on YouTube. I don't know if we're back up on the other podcast platforms. I will talk to Paul about that off air. But we're gonna keep cooking up. We're gonna keep being here. We're gonna keep talking these fights, talking that shit. And hopefully we got some new content for y'all next weekend. But thanks again to anybody who joined us. Just like, subscribe. Go like and subscribe to the Real Ninjas page too. They Prez and Presidential Fitness, Real Ninjas Network. They've been kind of letting us broadcast off of their platform too, to kind of reach another audience. So I'm very appreciative of that. Go show them some love as well. But we will be back next Sunday night to recap UFC 305, especially with it being a big card. Definitely be here the day after to share our thoughts on that. And yeah, again, thank you anybody who joined in. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you here next Sunday. This has been A1 and the resident hater Paul. And this was It's Almost Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.